The Galactic Council had convened countless times across millennia, their assembly a mosaic of alien species from every corner of the galaxy. They debated trade routes, arbitrated interstellar disputes, and shared technological advancements. Yet, for all their collective wisdom, no session of the Council had ever prepared them for the eerie void left by humanity's silence. Humanity had burst onto the galactic stage mere centuries earlier, a young and reckless species. Theirs was a culture contradiction. War and peace, destruction and creation, chaos and innovation. They had entered the Council with bold claims of unity, but had brought with them ideas, art, and technologies that revolutionized the very fabric of the galactic community. Their voices were loud, often too loud, but undeniably captivating. They made allies and enemies with equal fervor, and their influence spread like wildfire. When humanity spoke, the galaxy listened. Until they didn't, it began subtly. Communications from Earth and its colonies grew sporadic. Their once prolific stream of music, literature, and science slowed to a trickle. At first, it was dismissed as a phase. Humanity had always been unpredictable, their attention prone to shifting without warning. But as weeks turned into months, the absence grew impossible to ignore. The Council dispatched emissaries. Reports came back confused, fragmented. Ships arriving in human space found abandoned stations orbiting silent planets. Their colonies, thriving hubs of life and culture, were empty. Earth itself, the cradle of their species, was dark. And then there was nothing. No broadcasts, no beacons, no signs of life. Humanity had vanished. The Council chamber, usually abuzz with debate and chatter, now held an oppressive silence as the delegates reviewed the data. How does an entire species disappear? Demanded Threx of the Korthak Dominion, his chitinous exoskeleton glinting under the chamber's light. This is not natural. Natural or not, it's unprecedented, replied Savalis, the crystalline envoy of the Myron Syndicate. Their voice resonated with harmonic tones. Humanity's impact on the galaxy makes their absence troubling. Troubling? Threx's mandibles clicked in irritation. Their technology powers half our fleets. Their trade sustains countless worlds. Their absence is catastrophic. The Council murmured in uneasy agreement. For all their flaws, humanity had become integral to the galactic ecosystem. Their innovations had pushed the boundaries of medicine, energy, and artificial intelligence. Their arts had inspired entire generations across species. Even their conflicts had forced old enemies to unite in defense against their relentless ambition. Theories abounded. Some claimed humanity had destroyed itself, their propensity for war finally catching up with them. Others whispered of a cosmic plague or an extinction-level event. The more paranoid believed they had abandoned the galaxy altogether, retreating to some hidden enclave beyond the known stars. There must be answers, insisted Savalis. We owe it to their legacy, to our shared history, to find them. Expeditions were launched. Ships scoured human space, combing through the ruins of their colonies and the darkened cities of Earth. They found relics of a once vibrant civilization. Towering skyscrapers overrun by vegetation, abandoned spacecraft drifting in orbit, and data archives corrupted or incomplete. What they didn't find was life. Not a single human remained. But amidst the ruins, they discovered something else. A message, encoded within the last broadcast from Earth, buried beneath layers of encryption, was a simple transmission. When decoded, it sent chills through every species on the Council. We are not gone. We are not dead. We have chosen. The implications were staggering. Humanity hadn't been eradicated. They had left. But to where? And why? The questions lingered unanswered, haunting the Council. In the years that followed, the galaxy adapted. Other species filled the gaps humanity left behind, but it was never the same. Their music, their art, their boundless curiosity, all were irreplaceable. Monuments were erected, archives preserved, and their contributions celebrated. Yet, the absence remained a wound, a constant reminder of their loss. And then, centuries later, when humanity had become a legend more than a memory, the silence was broken. Across the galaxy, dormant human technology activated. Beacons long thought dead began transmitting. The message was the same, repeated in every known language. "We are returning." Panic gripped the council. What did it mean? Was it a promise? A threat? Speculation ran rampant, but one thing was certain. The galaxy would never forget the moment Earth went silent, nor the day it spoke again. The activation of human beacons sparked a frenzy of activity. Council species scrambled to understand what was happening. Fleets were mobilized, some to investigate and others to prepare for potential conflict. The memories of humanity's chaotic brilliance loomed large, a mix of admiration and fear. It was not lost on anyone that humanity's absence had left the galaxy vulnerable. Their return could either restore balance or upset it further. As fleets reached the source of the signals, they discovered something unexpected. Human technology had evolved far beyond what the Council had known. Massive stations, sleek and alien even to species accustomed to the vast diversity of galactic engineering, hung silently in space. Automated defenses deterred attempts to breach them, and every attempt to communicate was met with silence. Yet the beacons continued to transmit. Weeks turned to months as scientists and engineers from across the galaxy worked to decipher the new human technology. Every breakthrough revealed new complexities. It was as though humanity had leaped centuries ahead in their understanding of physics, biology, and engineering. The discoveries raised new questions. Had they found something or someone out there in the void? Had they transcended their limitations, achieving what many species only dreamed of? And then one day, the transmissions changed. The message became more complex, interwoven with patterns and data that seemed to defy comprehension. As the Council's brightest minds struggled to decode it, a breakthrough finally came. Embedded within the transmissions was a series of coordinates. The location was far beyond the edges of known space, in a region deemed inhospitable and devoid of life. Against their better judgment, the Council agreed to send an expedition. It was a coalition effort, with representatives from every major species. The journey was long and fraught with danger, the uncharted region living up to its reputation. But when they arrived, they found something that defied all expectations. A structure, vast and incomprehensible, hung in the void. It was neither a planet nor a station, but something in between, a construct of such scale and complexity that it dwarfed anything the galaxy had ever seen. Lights flickered across its surface, and energy readings spiked to levels that should have been impossible. As the expedition approached, a voice, familiar yet alien, echoed through their ships. "Welcome. You are not alone." The message was unmistakably human, yet it carried an otherworldly resonance. The structure, a synthesis of human ingenuity and something far greater, began to open, revealing a gateway that pulsed with light. The expedition hesitated, their ships scanning furiously, but the voice returned, calm and patient. "You have questions. We have answers. Enter, and you will understand." The Council delegates debated furiously. Was this a trap? A test? But curiosity, a trait humanity had long inspired in others, won out. They entered the gateway, their ships swallowed by the light. What they found inside changed the galaxy forever. Humanity had not merely survived. They had evolved. They had transcended the physical boundaries of existence, merging with a form of consciousness that spanned dimensions. They had become explorers not of stars but of realities, seekers of truths beyond the grasp of mortal understanding. "We left to grow," the voice explained, "to learn, to become more. Now, we return to share what we have found." The knowledge humanity offered was both a gift and a challenge. It held the promise of advancement, but required the galaxy to rethink its very foundations. The Council, for all its wisdom, struggled to comprehend the scope of what humanity had become. The galaxy buzzed with transformation as humanity's revelations unfolded. What began as guarded curiosity grew into a rush of eager collaboration. Humanity's return was not a conquest, but an invitation, a bridge to possibilities that had previously seemed unattainable. The knowledge they shared included technologies capable of healing planetary ecosystems, unlocking the latent potential. Humanity's return reshaped the galaxy, but it also brought chaos and wonder in equal measure. As species across the galaxy attempted to comprehend the vast troves of knowledge humanity offered, rifts began to form. Some saw their return as a divine event, a species ascending to the status of gods. Others viewed it with suspicion, their skepticism fueled by humanity's abrupt disappearance centuries earlier. The council chambers, once a place of orderly debate, became a battleground of ideologies. The factions grew. The progressionists, who advocated for immediate adoption of humanity's gifts, and the preservationists, who feared the galaxy's identity would be consumed by humanity's influence. Among these debates, humanity remained enigmatic. The towering structure they had revealed, dubbed the Nexus, became a focal point of galactic curiosity. The Nexus defied the laws of physics. Its spires shimmered with quantum fields that seemed to pulse with the very fabric of reality. Inside, humanity, or what they had become, delivered cryptic messages. You see the stars, but we see beyond. Do not fear the unknown, for it is the cradle of growth. The Nexus expedition. The Council decided to send a permanent delegation into the Nexus. This was no small task. The journey through its gateways had already caused several species exploratory teams to report strange phenomena. Visions of their past, moments where time itself seemed to stutter, and an overwhelming sensation of being watched. The delegation was comprised of 50 representatives from 20 species, chosen for their intellectual prowess and mental resilience. At the heart of this delegation was Liara Kale-Ynen, a Zerari linguist who had spent decades studying humanity's old records. She had been chosen not only for her expertise, but also because she seemed to grasp something others couldn't, the humanity that still lingered beneath their transcendence. As they crossed the Nexus threshold, the delegation's ships dissolved into motes of light. Each individual found themselves in a place that defied comprehension, a plane where matter, thought, and energy merged. Liara described it in her journal. It is neither a void nor a place. It is a conversation, an eternal song we are but whispers within. Humanity, or what they had become, appeared before the delegation not as physical beings, but as radiant constructs of light and intent. They spoke not in words but in impressions, waves of understanding that resonated directly within the minds of the visitors. You have questions. We have only one answer: unity. But what did unity mean? The delegation struggled to understand. Humanity's guidance was paradoxical, offering fragments of universal truths while withholding full comprehension. The visitors returned to the council with revelations and frustrations. They had been shown glimpses of entire realities folding in on themselves, of civilizations rising and falling across timelines. Humanity claimed they could guide the galaxy to transcendence, but the cost was uncertain. The fracture. As news of the delegation's experience spread, the galaxy fractured further. Some species, intoxicated by the promise of unity, rushed to implement the technologies and principles humanity had shared. Entire planets transformed overnight as bioengineering reshaped ecosystems and quantum reactors replaced traditional energy sources. But others recoiled, seeing these changes as humanity's subtle conquest. Rumors spread of species who had rejected humanity outright. The Krivitha, a proud warrior race, destroyed a human beacon on the edge of their space, declaring that they would forge their own destiny without outside interference. Days later, their fleets vanished without a trace. Survivors spoke of a blinding light and a whisper that filled the void. The council convened one last time, its members weary from months of conflict. The chamber was silent as Liara Kale-Ynen stepped forward. She had returned from the Nexus once again, this time bearing an invitation. Enter, not as delegations, but as one. Humanity offers the galaxy its final choice: unity or isolation. The chamber erupted into chaos. Unity would mean dissolving boundaries between species, sharing knowledge and culture until individuality became part of a greater whole. Isolation, on the other hand, meant rejecting humanity and facing an uncertain future. Why should we trust them? Threats of the Korthak Dominion roared. They disappeared without explanation, abandoned us, and now return with ultimatums. Liara's voice cut through the noise. Humanity didn't abandon us, they evolved. And they offer us the same opportunity. But evolution is not without sacrifice. The council debated for days. The galaxy seemed to hold its breath as the final vote loomed. Across countless worlds, citizens watched anxiously. Entire species struggled with the implications. Would they cling to their individuality, or would they embrace a future where all boundaries dissolved? The threshold. When the vote was cast, the council stood divided. Unity narrowly won, but several major species, including the Krivitha and the Sarnari coalition, refused to comply. As the council sent representatives to the Nexus to enact the choice, dissenters prepared for war. The Nexus shimmered as fleets gathered near it, some to join the process of unity, others to destroy it. Liara led the delegation into the structure where humanity awaited. Inside, they found something unexpected. The Nexus was not just a technological marvel. It was alive, a manifestation of collective will. Humanity had become its architects, but not its rulers. They were merely its stewards. As the delegation began the process of unity, the dissenting fleets launched their attack. Blasts of energy surged toward the Nexus, but they never reached it. The structure pulsed with an overwhelming light, disarming weapons and immobilizing ships without firing a single shot. A voice echoed through the galaxy. Division is not destruction. Those who choose isolation will have their path. But know this, unity is inevitable. In time, all return to the source. The descending fleets were gently pushed back to their territories, and the Nexus closed its gateways to them. For those who had chosen unity, the process began. Borders dissolved. Species merged their knowledge, and a new era dawned. The galaxy became something more, an interconnected tapestry of life and thought. As for humanity, they did not remain to guide this new unity. With their mission complete, they departed once more, leaving behind only the faint echoes of their presence. Liara Kale-Ynnen, now a symbol of the galaxy's transformation, recorded her final words in her journal. Humanity taught us that evolution is not an ascent but a return to each other, to the infinite. They have left us, but their light remains. And in that light, we are one. The galaxy had stepped into a new era of unity, its species bound together in ways previously unimaginable. The process had been both exhilarating and terrifying. Knowledge flowed freely, cultures intertwined, and the barriers of language, biology, and history dissolved. Entire planets were reshaped, their ecosystems harmonized to reflect the shared existence of their inhabitants. Yet, for all the progress, one question remained unanswered. Where had humanity gone? Though they had delivered the tools for unity, humanity had vanished once more. The Nexus, their incomprehensible creation, now pulsed faintly in the void, its gateways dormant. Its massive spire seemed to hum with energy, as if waiting for something or someone. Among the newly unified galaxy, whispers began to spread. Stories emerged of strange anomalies at the edges of known space, stars blinking out and reappearing, uncharted regions where time moved unnaturally, and fleeting glimpses of structures that resembled the Nexus but operated on a scale that dwarfed entire star systems. The Council, now a singular body representing the unified galaxy, convened to address the growing unease. Liara Kale-Ynnen, the Zerari linguist who had become a living legend, was summoned once more. Though she had retired to a quiet moon to document the events leading to unity, her connection to humanity's enigma could not be ignored. "Do you believe humanity is truly gone?" the council asked her. "They are not gone," she replied, her voice heavy with conviction. "They are waiting. The anomalies, The Council authorized an exploratory fleet to investigate the anomalies. It was the largest undertaking in galactic history. Thousands of ships from dozens of species, each equipped with the most advanced technology derived from humanity's gifts. Liara, now older but no less resolute, insisted on accompanying them. The fleet's journey took them far beyond the known galaxy, into regions where the laws of physics began to fray. Stars shimmered with colors that defied description, and space itself seemed to twist and fold. As they approached the coordinates of the most significant anomaly, their senses detected something astonishing, a structure larger than any celestial body they had ever encountered. It was a Dyson sphere, not just encasing a single star, but an entire cluster. The scale was incomprehensible. Its surface glittered with lights that pulsed in rhythmic patterns, and faint echoes of humanity's original beacon transmissions resonated through their communication systems. As the fleet drew closer, a familiar voice filled their ships. "Welcome. You have come far, but the journey is not yet complete." It was humanity, or at least what they had become. The invitation, the structure, which the fleet named the Veil, began to open. Panels the size of moons shifted, revealing an entrance that radiated energy. The fleet hesitated, unsure of what lay within. Liara stepped forward, addressing the assembled crews. "We came this far because we believed in the promise of unity. Humanity has shown us a path, but we must take the next step ourselves. Whatever lies within the Veil, it is the answer we seek." With her words, the fleet entered. What they found defied understanding. Inside the Veil was not a physical realm, but a construct of pure consciousness. The ships dissolved into light, and the individuals aboard found themselves in a place where thought shaped reality. They saw visions of their histories, their worlds, and their collective future. Humanity's voice guided them. "You are ready to see. You are ready to choose." They were shown the truth. Humanity had not merely transcended their physical form. They had become custodians of existence itself, caretakers of the fabric of reality. They moved between dimensions, ensuring the balance of universes. The anomalies, and even the concept of unity were part of their plan to prepare the galaxy for a role greater than itself. "You are not alone," the voice said. "You never have been. But to walk this path requires sacrifice. To protect existence, you must become part of it." The choice. The council members within the Veil debated furiously. To accept humanity's offer meant dissolving their individuality entirely, becoming part of a greater cosmic consciousness. To refuse meant returning to the galaxy and continuing their existence as they were, but without the guidance of humanity or the promise of further growth. Liara stood at the center of the debate. Her life had been shaped by humanity's influence, and she understood their intentions better than anyone. "They are not asking us to lose ourselves," she said. "They are asking us to become more, to be stewards of not just our galaxy, but of all creation." The delegates cast their votes within the Veil, their decisions echoing across the construct. When the tally was complete, a majority had chosen to ascend. As the process began, the Veil pulsed with energy. Those who had chosen ascension felt themselves dissolving into the collective, their thoughts merging with the greater whole. For a fleeting moment, they experienced everything: the birth of stars, the death of worlds, the infinite possibilities of existence. For those who chose to return, the Veil gifted them with one final message: the path is always open. When you are ready, we will be here. The new era. The galaxy transformed once more. Those who had ascended became guardians of reality. Their presence felt as subtle ripples across the cosmos. They intervened only when necessary, their influence a quiet reminder of the infinite. Those who returned carried with them a deeper understanding of existence. They rebuilt their worlds with a renewed sense of purpose, knowing that their journey was far from over. As for Liara, she chose to ascend. Her final journal entry, transmitted to the Council, became a beacon of hope for generations to come. Humanity showed us the stars and beyond them, the infinite. We are not bound by what we are, but by what we dare to become. The journey continues, and in it, we find eternity. And so, the galaxy thrived. Its species united not just by humanity's legacy, but by the boundless potential they now knew lay ahead. Beyond the veil of eternity, the journey was only beginning.